Mm. Hi everyone, welcome back to Codera. So today is the session number 7 for mastering code forces greedy problems, and uh, th- for this series currently this is the last session for the mastering greedy series. After this we'll be moving to the game theory series. So before that, today also we'll be solving 2 or 3 questions depending on the time, because we'll be covering these questions in details. These questions are a little bit of higher level compared to the previous problems that we have discussed in our sessions. So these are the problems that we'll be discussing. Like, this is exams, this is frog jumps, and this is C plus equal to. We have updated the problem links in the description of this video, so you can just quickly consider giving a +1 in the chat if I am audible to all of you and my voice is also clear, okay, so that we can begin ahead. Hi Sethi. Okay, hi Sethi, that's great that you are again here. Okay, perfect. I'll just wait for some time for others to join, and then after that immediately I'll begin with the session, okay. So let's wait for a couple of minutes for others to join, and then after that immediately we'll begin. Okay, hi Ria and hi Seti. I can see a lot of other people have joined as well. That's great. So if I'm audible to everyone who has joined this stream and my voice is also perfectly audible, then please consider giving a +1 in the chat so that we can begin ahead with the session. Okay, yeah, right. So these are the 3 problems. This is the problem C that you can see. So this is, if you see the rating of this problem, so this problem is rated at as 1400 on code forces, right? This is a greedy problem. Again we have a next problem, that is frog jumps. It is rated at as 1100 on code forces, so this is also a slightly higher level problem. And then there is this problem C plus equal to. We'll discuss this last problem if we have time. Otherwise, if we spend time in C, both of the C problems, that is exams and frog jumps, then in that case this problem will be for the homework for all of you. I'll just be telling you the concept for this problem. Otherwise we'll be discussing these 2 problems in detail because these are slightly higher level questions. And that's thank you that you like my teaching way, Sethi. So basically that is what I try to do, that we are trying to provide you the best possible series for starting for a beginner. Okay, we'll be covering this, we'll be carrying on this series in the future, maybe after some months, after a couple of months, after we have covered a lot of other topics with a breadth first search, because we want to cover as many topics as possible, because only then you will be able to solve a lot of questions, right, in the contests. So okay, I can see a lot of people are watching, right? Okay, so without further ado, I would like to begin ahead with the session. So the first problem that I want to discuss with you is this problem, okay, exams. And let's discuss this problem, okay. Let me just zoom in. So this problem is exams, and it was asked in code forces 274 division 2. Okay, let's read the problem statement first. So the problem says that student is an undergraduate. Uh, you Let's suppose that you are an undergraduate, and your exam end of term exams are approaching. Okay, so your final exams are approaching, and he has to pass in exactly n exams. So you need to pass in exactly n exams, and since this guy is a smart guy, so he will be able to pass any exam he takes on his first try. Okay, he can pass any exams that he takes on his first try. Besides, he can take several exams on one day and in any order. Okay, so according to the schedule, a student can take the exam for the ith subject on the day AI. Okay, so a student can take an exam, ith exam, on the day AI, on the day number AI. However, this student of yours has made an arrangement with each teacher, and the teacher of the ith subject allowed him to take exam before the scheduled time on the BI day. Okay, so what happens is, everyone else will be giving the exam date for everyone else's AI. Okay, but he will be giving the exam on BI, that where BI is lesser than AI. Okay, for a particular ith exam he talked with the teacher, and he'll be giving the exam on BI, and the others will be giving the exam on AI, where BI is a earlier date. Okay, BI is an earlier date compared to AI, right? let's read the problem statement further. Okay, so the problem says further that uh, he can all the teachers put the record of the exam in the student's record book on the day of actual exam and write down the date of the mark uh, as number AI. So all the teachers are putting the records of the exam in the student's record book on the day of the actual exam, and they write down AI for that particular exam, right? And this guy believes that it would be strange if let's suppose what is happening, there is a record book. Okay, there is a record book, so all the other students who are there, in place of them, the let's say there is a subject. Okay, there is a subject, so in that subject column they are putting AI, the exam on which the student gave. Okay, for all the people, for all that particular subject, it will be AI, but for this guy it will be BI, right? For this guy, he will be giving his exam on the BI date. So since this guy is giving his exam on the BI date, so that simply means that he's thinking that it is awkward. Okay, so he believes that if the entries in the record book did not go in the order of non-decreasing, so what he believes is that he believes it would be strange if the entries in the record book did not go in the order of non-decreasing date. Okay, basically if the order is not non-decreasing, then he thinks that it will be strange. So he's asking for your help. You have to find the minimum possible value of the day when he can take the final exam, if he takes exam, so that all the records in his record books go in order of non-decreasing date. Okay, so you have to find the minimum possible value of the day. You have to find the minimum possible value of the day. Okay, you have to find the minimum possible value of day when this guy can take can take the can take the final exam, such that the record book in his exams are nothing but this. Okay, the record books in his exam are like this. Okay, non-decreasing manner. Okay, and let's suppose that this is the question. Let me just scroll down a little bit. So what you will be given, you will be given n, and you will be given the array AI and BI, that is the date of the exam and the early date of passing the ith exam. Okay, you will be given this. Okay, you will be given this, and what you have to do is you have to tell that you have to print the minimum possible number of days when he can take the last exam, if he takes all the exams, so that the record books go in non decreasing order. Sir, अपनी language में समझाओ, question clear नहीं हुआ question. Okay, right. So what it says is basically that you will be given exam. Okay, and what that each that a all the students will be giving the exam on AI date. Okay, on the date for that particular subject, that is AI. Now he has made an arrangement with each teacher and the of the ith subject, and the teacher allowed him to take any exam before the scheduled time on the day BI. Okay, where BI is lesser than this rate. So let's take an example. Okay, let me just copy these test cases so that we can discuss upon these question a little bit further. Okay, let me just make some space for us to work upon. When once I will explain the test cases, so everything will be clear. So don't worry about that. But this is a tricky problem, right? You can see that once you increase the level, so the rating of this question is 1400, right? So you can see that once you increase the level of the question, so its language and basically it changes, right? It changes for you, like its level changes. Okay, let me write 2 here for this test case. Okay, this is what has been given. Okay, so what you will be given is, you will be given input. So two positive integers, n and this. Okay, and you have to tell, right? So let's say for the first exam, for the ith exam, what will happen, let's say you are given 3. Okay, you are given n is equal to 3. What will happen, you will be given 5, then 2. This is your AI, and this will be your BI. Okay, this is what has been given to you. Okay, after that this is 1, this is 3, this is 1, this is 4, this is 2. This is what has been given to you. Now it says that in the first sample, uh, also let me see that if there are multiple answers or not. Print the single integer, the minimum possible number of days when he can take the last exam. If he takes all the exams, so that all the record in his record book go in order of decreasing date. Okay, so in his exam, what he wants to do is, in his record book he wants all the exams to be in non-decreasing order. What do I mean by non-decreasing order? What do I mean by non-decreasing order? That means the ascending order, or let's say 1, 2, 2 and 3. Okay, so in this case you can see that the two twos are together, right? And this is a non-decreasing order, right? Your numbers are not decreasing, either they will remain constant or they will be increasing. Okay, this is what you mean by non-decreasing order. Now let's see. So in the first sample, where this guy takes an exam in the second subject on the first day. Okay, so he takes the exam, he takes an exam in the second subject on the first day. Okay, yeah, right, increasing, but you can say non-decreasing. Okay, so on the first day he takes this exam. Okay, on the first day he takes this exam, right? After that, what it does, after that, the teacher writes down the schedule date, that is 3. Okay, the teacher will write down the schedule date, which is 3. For this exam, the schedule date actually is 3. Okay, after this, what will happen? On the next day he takes an exam in the third subject. Okay, so in the third subject, if he takes the exam, so this exam is what, 2, right? But actually it is mapped as 4. For this 2, it is already actually mapped as 4, right? Now he'll be taking this exam on the second day as well, right? Which is this 5, which will be mapped to 5, right? So what you have to do is, then he takes an exam in the first subject. Okay, thus takes the last exam on the second day, and dates will go in non-decreasing order. Okay, let's take the next case as well. Let me just copy the test cases once again. Okay, I've copied the test cases. So in this way you can see that first test case first test case takes 2 days, right? In this order, according to this values, according to the bi values, he gives the exam. The minimum number of days in which he gives the exam is nothing but 2, right? Now let's look at the next case so that we can have a better understanding. So the n is equal to 3, and this is your ai, this is your bi. Okay, yeah, right. So is the first test case clear to everyone? If the first test case is clear to everyone, then please write clear in the chat, because after this test case everything will be clear. Okay, so what you can do, first of all, your bi is 1 for this, right? So you'll be given this, or what way you will do, you will do this, right? In the second sample, this guy takes the first takes an exam in the third subject on the fourth day. Okay, this guy, now you can see that you cannot give this exam, right, on this date. Why you cannot give this exam? You cannot give this exam simply because if you will give this exam, then this one will be pointing to 6, right? Since this one is pointing to 6, so after that all the other exams like this will be this, right? In this way, if you give this, if you give this way, if you give the exams in this order according to the bi, if you give the exams in this order, so in this way you will see, say what, you will first give the exam on the 6th, then 5th, and then 4, right? You have to make this as a non-decreasing or ascending, right? Here you can see that the ai values are what, sorted, right? Are non-decreasing, or you can say ascending, right? But here you can see that if you do it this way, then in that case you will be in trouble, right? Okay, how will you do this in this question? So in this question you will simply do what? First of all, you will be taking this exam, right? This exam on the third day, you take this exam, and the bi for this exam is this, but the actual ai is this, and you have to sort according to the, you have to keep it non-decreasing according to the ai value. That is important in the question. After that, what you do is, you take this exam on the second that is marked as second, and you give it on the fifth day actually, right? Now clear after the second test case, great. Now you take this exam on that is marked as 1, bi is marked as 1, and you will give it on the sixth day, right? Now this is a non-decreasing order according to the AI values. Now what is the what is the minimum number of days that you took for this exam? So since you are giving the first exam actually on the fourth day, then on the fifth day, according to the AI values, you are giving, like, you gave this exam, not this exam, right? You gave this exam, you gave this exam earlier, right? You gave this exam on the second day. It was, your exam was clear on the second day itself, right? But here you cannot consider this, you cannot consider the BI values. Why? Because they are not in ascending order, right? They are not in non-decreasing order. So you have to consider this AI values, right? AI values. So according to the AI values, the minimum that you take is 6 days, right? Is this clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me in the chat, is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me in the chat, so that only then I'll be able to move ahead. If this much part is clear to everyone, then please quickly tell me. Okay? Is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Like Seti and others. Is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Basically, it would be strange if the entries in the record book are not in non-decreasing order, right? So therefore you need to help him, and you need to find the minimum possible value of the day when he can take the final exam. If he takes the exams so that all the record books go in non-decreasing order, right? And he has talked with the teacher, so the teacher can allow him to take the exam before the scheduled time as well. He can give the exam on the scheduled time, or he can give before that as well, right? Clear. Okay. Okay, that's great. How should we be approaching this problem, right? You have to find the minimum number of days. Now tell me, how would you be approaching this problem? How will you approach? I can see a lot of people are watching, so if you haven't liked the video, you can consider liking the video if you haven't already, okay? And how should we approach this problem, right? I hope that the question is clear. Now tell me how should we approach this problem, okay? Now tell me one thing, how should we approach this problem? Now tell me the approach for this problem, right? You have to find the minimum number of days, okay? You have to find the minimum days in which you will be completing your answers, such that all the all the records are in non-decreasing order, right? Records should be in non-decreasing order, okay? Right. How do we do this? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Just try to think something, okay? Let's try to think. How should we give these exams? Right. How should we give this exam such that the records, such that there are two conditions. The first condition is that you need to take the minimum number of days, right? You need to find the minimum number of days, because it is written that you have to print the minimum number of possible days in which you can take the last exam, okay? And you also want to take all the exams. The second condition is that you want to take all the exams such that the record that is stored, it should be in non-decreasing order. And we have seen the two test cases for this problem as well. How should we approach this problem now? First of all, tell me one thing. Is this a greedy problem, right? This is a greedy problem. Again, why? Because this is an optimization problem. You have to minimize the number of days such that you hold this condition. That is that you keep the records that on which date that you are giving the exam, the records are in non-decreasing order. You have to maintain this order, and keeping in mind this order, you have to find the minimum number of days. Okay, how should we approach this problem further? Just quickly tell me. How should we be approaching this problem? How shall we approach this problem? Can you think of something? First of all, let me know. Do you think that sorting will be helpful, right? You get an intuition of sorting in some way or the other, right? You're getting some intuition of sorting. You're getting the intuition for sorting, right? Everyone is getting. No idea how to approach. That is what I want you to think, right? That is what I want you to think. How should we be approaching this problem? If the statement is clear, then how should we be approaching this problem? I just want to know that. First of all, you'll be sorting, right? You'll be sorting. This much part is clear because you don't need to find the minimum number of days, right? you will be given, what you can say is, let's say the pairs are ai and bi, right? For a particular i, the pairs are ai and bi, right? What should you be sorting? What should you look to sort? Okay, what should you look to sort? Let me just make some space for us, right? Let's make some space. Okay, let's make some space. Let me just make some space and then we can discuss this further. Okay, let's make some space. Yeah, right. So for this, you can see the pairs are nothing but 5 comma 2. Then there is one other pair 3 comma 1, and there is another pair 4 comma 2, right? These are the pairs that you are having, right? Everyone will agree on this, right? Everyone agrees on this. These are the pairs, right? These are the pairs. Now you need to sort either according to AI or BI. What should you be doing with this? What should you be doing with this, right? Let's suppose that these are the pairs. So let's first sort according to the AI value, right? How should we do this? Should we do this according to the AI value or the BI value? What should I do? What should I do? पेयर बनाकर सॉर्ट करने का सोच रहा हूँ. यस सर, अग्री, राइट. Now let's sort. Why will you sort, right? How will you sort? So you always know that this value that you have bi, this value is always going to be smaller, right? This value bi is always going to be, bi for a particular I will always be going to be smaller than ai, right? So if you sort this according to the ai values, then you know that it will be sorted always according to the bi values, right? If you sort them according to the ai values, then you know that this will be sorted according to the bi values also, right? Because every bi is lesser than ai, right? Every bi is lesser than ai. Are you getting this point? Are you all getting this point? That every ai is greater than bi, right? So if you sort according to ai, then it will automatically get sorted according to your bi, right? It will automatically get sorted according to your bi, right? Are you getting this point? Are you all getting this point? Let's suppose that what can happen is, there can be a situation. Let's suppose you take this case. Okay, let's suppose you take this case. So if you sort this according to a, sort according to ai, according to ai, right? First of all, you sort it according to ai. What you will get? You will get, first of all, this 3, which is indexed with 1, mapped with 1, then this 4, which is mapped with 2, and then this 5, which is mapped with 2, right? So in this way you get the minimum, right? You get the minimum, you are getting the minimum, which is this 2, right? Everyone agrees on this. Everyone agrees on this with me, right? Everyone is agreeing with me on this part. You want to give the exam for each paper. The approach will be that you want to give the exam, give the ith exam as early as possible, right? As early as possible. Now there can be a situation that, now you know that, you know always that bi is lesser than ai, right? So that is why if you have it sorted according to ai, then it will automatically, then bi is always sorted, right? And if there is some ai such that, let's say that ai is equal to ai, so in those cases you will be sorting it according to bi, right? You will be sorting it according to bi if both ais are same, right? In case of conflict, right? And you want to give the exams as soon as possible, right? So if my bi is lesser, so in that case it will be optimal for me to sort according to ai, because the bi order will be always lesser, right? Always because the bi order I'll automatically get. And if my ai is equal to a another aj, let's say some particular ai is equal to another, like a particular a is equal to a particular a for another index j. So in that case I can sort according to the bi values, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Just quickly tell me in the chat. Okay, everyone agrees on this, right? Perfect, perfect, right? So this is what you do. Okay, this is what you will be doing. Now what will you do? what will you do further? Like, let's assume one thing. Let's assume what? Let's assume that you have sorted them. Okay, you have sorted them. Okay, everyone is agreeing that we should sort them, right? Everyone agrees that we should sort them. So let's simply sort them, right? Let's simply sort them. What will it look like, right? Let me just make some space for us to work on. Let's make some space so that we can work upon this. Okay, perfect. Yeah, right. So what will be the order? So the order will be 3 1, then the order will be 2 and 5, then the or not 2 and 5, sorry. The order will be 4 and 2, and then the order will be what? 5 and 2, right? This will be the order. Now what you will be doing? What you will be doing after this? Can someone tell me in the chat what will we do afterwards? What can we do afterwards? What can we do afterwards? What should we do afterwards? Let's take this case also. Okay, so this case is clear. This is the first case. Okay, let me try to take both the cases simultaneously. This is the first test case. Okay, and the second test case is what? If I sort the second test case according to the pairs, so it will look something like this. 4 comma 4 comma I have 3, then I have 5 comma 2, and then I also have 6 comma 1, right? This is all that I am having, right? What will happen in this case? What will happen in this case? I basically need to find the maximum day, right? I need to find the last day of exam, right? Last day, exam of the last day of the last exam, right? I need to find the day of the last exam that I'll be giving, right? I need to find the day of the last exam, right? So what should I do in this? What should I do in this? Basically, if you see this, so for this case, what would happen? For this case, if you see, so what will be the last day for this one? For this one, the last day will be nothing but this, right? The last day will be 6 for this, and the last day for this will be 2, right? Everyone is agreeing on this. Everyone agrees on this, right? This is what has been given in the question, right? The last day is, this is how you'll find the last day. Okay, you have the pair as a, where you have the pair where your first value that you are storing, the first value that you have stored is nothing but ai, and the second value that you have stored is nothing but bi, right? And you have sorted it. You have simply sorted it, right? Everyone agrees on this. So how do you do this? You iterate on each pair, right? You are basically iterate on each pair, iterate on each pair, right? Iterate on each pair and find the what? Maximum, right? Find the maximum, like if it happens that what you are doing, right? In this case, what you are doing for this case, let's say for this case, what you will do, let's try to dry run for this case. Okay, so if you initially, if you have let's say I initialize my maximum, let's say mx equal to -1. Okay, the maximum I have, the last day, that is the maximum, because if you want to minimize it, so you have to find the worst case, right? What is the last exam date? Okay, so let's say I initialize my last to nothing. Let's say not maximum, let's say last. Okay, let's say last. Okay, so let's say this is your last. So I initialize my last to -1. Okay, I'm initializing my last to -1. Okay, I am initializing my last to -1. After that, what I will do, I will check, right? I need to check. What do I need to check? So first of all, I'll be checking which one will be the more optimal for me. This will be more optimal, right? I want to check according to the bi values, right? So for each i, what I will do is, for each I will check, right? What I will check, if my last is lesser than equal to v of I dot second. If this is the case, right? If this is the case, so in that case my last will be what? I dot vi dot second, right? Vi dot second. because if I am if my second is what, second is b, right, second is bi, and if it is greater than my last exam that I gave. So if the particular ith b ith value, ith b value of the particular ith pair, if it is greater than my last exam that I gave, so I'll update my answer. And if that is not the case, okay, if my last is greater, right, if that is not the case, so in the else part I'll update my last to nothing but vi of first, right, I'll update my last to nothing but vi of first. How and why? Let us discuss this, okay, let's discuss this. Let's try and see this, okay, let's try and have a dry run with this case. What I'll be doing basically is, this, okay. What I'll do with this, let me show you. What we'll be doing is, first of all, I have my last as -1, okay, I have my last as -1, and the current pair, that the ith pair that I am having, is nothing but 3 comma 1, right. So I'll first of all check, is my last, is my -1 lesser than equal to, if I will check in the if my -1 is lesser equal to 1, right, this is the second part, right, vi dot second. If that is the case, if that is the case, so what will I do? In that case, I will update my last to nothing but 1, right? Because why to go till the third day if this is the case, right? So I will do this accordingly. Now the next pair, what is the next pair that I am having? Now notice that my last is instead of this, my last is 1. Okay, my last will be 1, because the last date that I have given the exam, the last exam that I have given, the latest date for that is 1 in the record book. Okay, after that, what I will do, I have the ith pair as 4 comma 2, right, and if my last is lesser equal to 2, that is if my 1 is lesser equal to 2, right, for the if I am lesser than the second value, it is optimal for me to assign the second value first, right, to assign the bi value first for the next exam compared to the ai, right, because if there is a conflict, if the last exam that I gave, if it is greater than the bi value, current bi value, so in that case I'll be assigning the first value, right, otherwise I will be always trying to keep the last value as bi only, because this will always give me the minimum, right. So I'll assign my last to bi, so that means my last will now be updated to 2. So the last exam that I have given, the date for it is 2, okay, the last exam that I have given, the date for it is 2. Now after that, what I can do, so the next, what is the ith pair now? So the ith pair is nothing but 5 comma 2, right, the ith pair is 5 comma 2, and I will check if my last exam that I gave, the last date, the latest date for the last exam that I gave. So discuss the second test case. Yeah, right, I will discuss it. So if the last exam that I gave, if for it the last is lesser equal to 2, right, 2 is lesser equal to 2, right, so for this case as well, I can do what, I can assign my last as bi, right. So that means that my last is 2 and my iteration has ended here, right, and I can simply say that the last day on which I'll be giving my exam is nothing but 2, right. So the total number of days that I'll take, I'll in the minimum, I'll be doing this. Now let's discuss the next test case, okay, for the more clarity part, for the more clarity of this problem, let's discuss the next test case, okay. This was a tricky problem, but still, like, you need to dry run for this, only then you will be able to see like how it is actually doing the impact, okay. Now let me write it in the sorted manner. 4 comma 3, then I have 5 comma 2, and then I have 6 comma 1, right. So the ith pair that I am currently having is nothing but 4 comma 3, and I have assigned my last day last exam that I have given as -1, because currently I haven't started giving the exams, okay. So I'll come in this, and my last is lesser equal to the this 3, right, my last is lesser equal to 3. So what I will do, I will assign this last as 3, right, because I am since I haven't started giving the exams, so I will try to minimize my last day, right, I will minimize my last day, and for doing that, first of all, I will be trying to assign it bi, right. If the last exam that I have given, if it is earlier, if this is earlier, then the current for the current exam, ith exam b value, then in that case I'll be assigning it, right. Okay, so I have assigned my last as 3. Now I'll update my last as 3, and let's erase this first part, okay. Let's erase this. What will happen next? what will happen next? Okay, I need to see. I is nothing but now 5 comma 2, and I will check. What I will check? I will check if my last exam date, the last date of the last exam that I gave, I'm showing the date. Okay, if the last date on which I gave the exam, if it is lesser equal to the 2, is it lesser equal to 2 for this case? This is the second exam. Okay, this is the second exam. Can I give the second exam on the second? Can I give the last exam which I gave it on third day. Okay, I gave it on 3. I gave it on 3 according to this value, right? I gave it on 3. But can I give this second exam? I gave the first exam on the day 3. Okay, I gave the first exam. The earliest that I could give the first exam was the day 3, right? And now the earliest that I can give this exam is 2. But can I give this exam on the 2? On the date 2? No, I cannot give, right? Because on 3 I've given this exam, okay, the first exam. So I cannot give the, like, 3 is not lesser equal to 2, right? So in that case I cannot give the exam on the 2, right? 2 has already passed away. So in that case, what will I do? I'll go to the else part. Okay, I'll go to the else part and I'll mark my last as nothing but AI, because obviously I can give it on AI, but I cannot give it on BI, right? I can obviously give it on AI, right? AI for the current pair, right? I can give it on AI for the current pair, right? Everyone agrees on this. I hope that everyone does. Okay, so now my last is updated to nothing but 5, because I can give it on the 5th, right? After this my pair will get updated. Okay, after this my pair gets updated. What gets updated? This will be 6 comma 1. Okay, let's write this. Okay, let's see what will happen now. So if my last date of the exam that I have given, the latest exam that I have given, no sir, can't, because exam should be in order, right? Yeah, the days should be in order, right? So if the last that I have given, now I'll check the last exam that I have given, is it lesser equal to 1? Because first of all I'll be trying to give it on BI, right? But I can see that the last exam I gave, this is the third exam, right? This is the third exam, and the second exam I gave the second exam on the 5th. Can I give the second exam on the day 1? Can I give the second exam on day 1? No, 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 right? No. So I'll go in the else part and I'll assign the last date I'll be giving the exam on this, because either I can give it on AI or BI. So if I cannot give it on BI, so I'll give it on AI, obviously, right? So that is why my last will be nothing but 6 in this case. And since it is 6, so that is why, since it is 6, since the value is 6, right? Since the last value is nothing but 6, so that is why I will be outputting 6, right? Because the maximum number of day that the last day on which I gave the exam is 6. Okay, is this part clear to everyone? Is this part clear to everyone? Is this exam is this problem clear to everyone? If the problem is clear to everyone, then please kind of consider giving a +1 in the chat quickly. Is this clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me. Just quickly tell me if this test case is clear to everyone. Is this test case clear to like, is this problem now clear to everyone? Is this problem clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Only then I'll be moving ahead. Okay, I'm just waiting for your replies. Okay, RB says +1. Okay, what about others? What about others? Just quickly tell me. Just quickly tell me. Okay, what about you, Ria? Just okay. Deva Priya. Okay, it is clear to you as well. What about others? What about you, Ria? Are you there? Okay, is it clear to everyone? Okay, let's write the code for this, right? Let's write the code for this if it is clear to everyone. Okay, so let me just increase the font size a little bit. Like, this is fine. Okay, now let's write the code for this. How will I write the code for this? So I've taken, for long I will be using this, so I'll using long n comma I, and then I'll initialize my last day that I gave the previous exam as -1. Okay, after that what I will do is I will take the n as an input. I will take n as an input. After this, what I'll be doing, I'll be declaring a vector of pairs. Okay, vector of pairs, pair of long comma long, and let's name it as P. Okay, after that what I will be doing is I'll be pushing back into it only. So for I start from 0 and I is less than n, I plus plus, Okay, after this I can declare two variables a comma b, which will be storing my ai and bi for the particular case. Okay, I can say a and b. After that I will be pushing p dot push back, I'll be storing the pairs in it. Okay, I'll be doing this, I'll be storing the current, I'll be storing the pairs, and once I've done that, so I'll sort them, right? I'll write p dot sort, p dot begin comma p dot end, right? Everyone is clear with this? Everyone is clear with this much part? पूजा है सर रिया के घर. Oh man, that's great. Okay, okay, right, this is what you will do. Right, after this what should we do next? uh, After this what should we do next? So what should we do next? Okay, so what I'll be doing is I'll be running my loop. Okay, I'll be running auto, I will be using the auto to iterate without writing the index, without writing the whole pair. So auto I is to p means that I dot first will reflect to the first value of the pair, and I dot second will reflect, I dot second will mean the bi value, right? So if my last day that I have done, if it is lesser equal to I dot second, so in that case what will I do? In that case I will make my last day as I dot second, right? The bi value, right? The current bi value. Otherwise, if that is not the case, so I'll mark my last day as the ai value, that is I dot first, right? This is what I will do, and in the end I will simply do a cout and I will say last day, right? Everyone is clear with this? This is what I will do. Everyone is clear with this much part? Only then I can consider moving ahead. Okay, everyone is clear with this much part? Everyone is clear with this case? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Just quickly tell me in the chat so that we can move ahead. P dot sort. Having some issues with it, right? Let me see what is the problem with this case. So not p dot sort. Okay, p. What is p dot sort, man? I just I think I just wrote it in Java manner. Java and C++ combined. Okay, so you can see the number of days for this case are 2. Let's just quickly copy the second test case, and what do we do with this? Okay, so for this case I am getting 6. Okay, for this case I am getting 6, and the second test case the answer was 6, right? Let's submit the code for this and see whether it works or not. Right, okay, so I've submitted the code just to check if it works or not. So meanwhile it is in the queue. Let's see if it works. So yeah, you can see that my code that I just wrote now, so it got accepted. Okay, this got accepted, this got as accepted, right? So let me show you once again. Basically you were trying to be greedy. You know that you will be taking them as pair, right? A and bi, then you will be sorting according to a. Why you will be sorting according to a? That is why you have kept a in the first part of the pair. Why you have done this? Simply because you know that bi is lesser than ai, right? So you want to sort it according to a, because bi will already be sorted, right? If you will sort it according to ai, then bi is already less than ai, right? So it will already get sorted according to bi, and you will check that the last date that you gave, if it is lesser equal to the bi value, current bi value, so in that case you will assign the uh, like if you have bi such that the last exam that you gave, if it is not after the current bi, so in that case you will be giving the current exam on the bi date. Otherwise you have to give the exam on the current exam on the ai date, right? And that is what how you will be updating your last day in which you gave your exam, and this is how you will do it. Okay, is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Just quickly tell me in the chat so that we can move ahead. Okay. I don't think that I'll be able to take this problem because this will take another 45 minutes or 40 minutes. So that is why let's take this C problem after that. Okay. Is the problem clear to everyone? Just quickly tell me in the chat. Just quite quickly tell me in the chat. Only then I'll be able to move ahead. Shall I move ahead? Okay. Right. Shall I move ahead? with this? Just quickly tell me in the chat, and also if you haven't liked the video, you can consider liking the video. Shall we move ahead? Everyone, I want to ask from everyone, shall we move ahead? Shall we move ahead? I'm waiting for others' responses. Okay. So this is the second problem. Okay, this is the second problem that we'll be taking today. The problem name is C plus equal to. Okay, and it says that Leo has developed a programming language which is known as C plus equal to. Okay, so let's make some space for this. You can see that this the problem was 1400 rated, but was just moving just before moving ahead. One thing that I want to say, right? One thing that I want to say, I took this problem C, which was named as exams. Okay, I took this problem, which was a problem C. Okay, this was a problem C, and its name was exams. Okay, and this was a 1400 rated problem, right? But if you solve some problems, okay, if you solve some problems on greedy, then don't you think that you could have got it? Like, don't you think that you just gave up too early? You just gave up too early. We could have done it. We could have done it much earlier, right? We could have done it much earlier. Everyone would agree on this, right? Everyone would agree on this, I think, right? Everyone agrees on this, that you gave up too early, I think, right? You just could have taken some more time to think, right? So that is what I'm saying. Never give up. Just try to think a little bit. If you try to dry run the test cases, you could have tried to sort it according to the AIBI. Why did you give up in just 1 minute? Why did you give up in just 1 or 2 minutes, right? Why did you give up in just 1 or 2 minutes? Why don't you try to run the on the test cases? Why don't you try to think of some algorithm, some technique, some approach? This is what I'm saying. Okay. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, let's move ahead with the further problems. For the this problem, that is this problem which is named as C plus equal to. So there's a language that Leo has developed which is named as C plus equal to, and in this what will happen, let me just zoom in a little bit more. So in this language what will happen, variables can only be changed with a plus equal to, okay, operator up with plus equal to operator on the right side. That means that if a is 2, basically this, if a is 2 and b is 3, so if you do a plus equal to b, so a will plus equal to b will mean that 2 plus equal to 3, which means my a will now be 5, right? This is very basic. With this is very basic function, plus equal to that we always do. So in a prototype language, Leo has two integers a and b. Okay, he has two integers a and b. Just now read the lines. Okay, so he has two integers a and b, and you want to initialize with some positive value. Okay, which have been initialized with some positive value. So a and b are initialized with some positive value, and you can perform a plus equal to b or b plus equal to a any number of times. Okay, let me just clear this part. Let's just clear this part and try to understand what the problem is saying. Okay, so it says that you can do either two moves, either of the two, a plus equal to b, or you can do b plus equal to a. Okay, and you need to note that both a and b are greater equal to 1. Okay, both are positive. Okay, both are positive, right? So you can perform either a plus equal to b or b plus equal to a. This is the first operation that you can perform. This is the second operation that you can perform, and you can perform these operations any number of times. Okay, there is no boundation on the number of times that you can apply these operations, any of these. Okay, after that, Leo wants to test handling large integers. Okay, so he wants to make the value of a or b strictly greater than n. Okay, you want to make the value of a either, what will happen, what does he want? So you have been given a number n also. Okay, you have been given a number a n. Okay, so you want that either your strictly greater, either your a should become greater than n or your b should become greater than n, and you need to find the minimum number of moves for that. Minimum number of moves. Okay, let me just make let me write it here. Okay, you what minimum number of moves such that a is greater than n or b is greater than n, strictly greater than n, by either performing this operation or this operation any number of times. I can see a lot of new people have joined, so please consider giving a +1 in the chat quickly, and please like the video if you haven't already. So is the question clear to all of you? Is the question clear to all of you? Is the problem statement clear to all of you? You have been given two integers a and b such that a and b both are positive, both are greater or equal to 1, that is both are positive integers, and you can either perform this operation, that is you can either do a plus equal to b or you can do b plus equal to a. Ultimately what you want in the end is you will be given an integer n, and you want your a to be greater or equal to n, greater than n, or you want to your b to be greater than n. Once you reach that, so you have to tell what is the minimum number of moves, that you take to do this. Is the problem statement clear to everyone? If the problem statement is clear to everyone, then please write clear in the chat. Okay, it is clear to Sethi. What about RB and what about others? What about Deva, Priya, Chandra? What about you, man? Just quickly tell me. Just quickly tell me. Only then I'll be able to move ahead. Right? This much part is clear to everyone. This much part is clear to everyone, right? I hope that this much part is clear to everyone. Okay, so let's take these test cases now, since this is clear to all of you, I think. Okay, right. This is a tougher problem, right? Also notice one thing. Today is a global round, and this problem also came in global round 8. This was the, I think, the first global round that I gave in my life on CodeForces. This was global round 8, and I was able to solve it. Okay, after a lot of you can say errors, I was able to solve it like almost 1.5 years back. Okay, let me just copy the test cases here somewhere. Yeah, you have been given, let's say, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to not c, n is equal to 3. Okay, okay, right. Now let's take this case, let's take this. Okay, let me just copy it here. Right. Okay, perfect. I can see again 6 people have joined, so if you haven't liked the video, you can consider liking the video if you are liking the explanation part. Okay, right. So let's move ahead. What should I do such that I am greater than this value, right? Either my a should be greater than n, or my b should be greater than n, and the value of n is 3. So what I can do is let's say I perform the operation a plus equal to b. Okay, first of all, let's say in the first move I perform the operation a plus equal to b. So after that my a will become what? My a will become nothing but 3, right? And my b will remain 2. Now I can perform the second operation. Let's say I perform again a plus equal to b, and then in that case my a will equal to 5 and b will be equal to 3. Notice that my 5, which is a, is greater than n, which is 3, right? It is greater than 3. A is greater than n. So the number of moves, the minimum moves in this case is nothing but 2. Everyone agrees on this. We create a function and first pass a, b and n, then b, a and n, and calculate as we did in the last question a day back from yesterday. Okay, it is great that you remember that question. Okay, but can we do this in a much simpler manner? That is what I want to hear from you. Can we do this in a much simpler manner? For not doing that, why I don't want to do that. So what I'll say is let me make some space for this, and then we'll discuss this further. Okay, now how should you approach this, right? Taking random test case won't help. I am initially assume. Okay, let's assume one thing. What should we assume? Let's assume that a is lesser equal to b. If that is not the case, so if there is else part, so you can always swap, right? You can always swap a and b. Okay, that is always possible. So in that case a will be lesser equal to b, right? Because you want one number to be greater and another to be, you only want one number to exceed, right? You want either a should be greater than n or b should be greater than n, right? So you will be focusing on one number such that it will get greater than n, right? So what should I do further? So what will happen? You have A and B, right? What will happen in one move? In one move, either A will be equal to A plus B, or B will be equal to A plus B, right? This is what will happen. This is what will happen. Right, right. This is what will happen. Everyone agrees on this? This is what will happen. What after this? What will happen after this? After this, what will happen? Right. So once I have this, everyone is agreeing on this part, okay? What will happen afterwards? What will happen afterwards? What will happen afterwards? Okay. What in one? On by. Okay, so let's move ahead further. Let's move ahead further, okay? What will happen in this case? What will happen afterwards? What should we do? What should we do? We know that after one move, A will either be equal to A plus B, or B will be equal to A plus B, right? What should we do? Since you are doing this, right? Since you are adding this, so what will be the optimal strategy for this? Okay, what will be the optimal strategy for this, right? Since what you are doing is, you are either increasing, you are doing A plus equal to B, or you are doing B plus equal to A, right? So what you want, what do you want, what do you want, what do you want? You want that, you want that you get, after each move, after each move number increases, okay? After each move your number increases, right? Whichever number you are adding it to. So how will it increase, right? After each move, how will it increase, so that the next time you add it, it will get bigger, right? So for this you want, what do you want? You want smaller number to increase, right? If the smaller number increases, then in that case your answers will be increased. Your, if the smaller number increases, let's say the small is A. If A will increase, B plus equal to, if you do an B plus equal to A such that A is lesser equal to B, and if A value increases, if A increases, so in that case B will also increase, right? If A increases, if the smaller number increases, then B will also increase. Yeah, it will be changing, it will be changing. That is why I always say that we will assume that A is lesser equal to B. If that is not the case, then we will swap, okay? If that is not the case, so we'll swap, okay? Right. Let's take one case. Let's take one case here, okay? Let's take one case. Let's say you have 2 and 3, okay? Let's say you have 2 and 3 here. Let's say you have 2 and 5, okay? Let's say you have 2 and 5. So if you do a 5 plus equal to 2, okay, 5 plus equal to 2, so in that case you will get 2 comma 7, right? Okay, but and let's say you have to reach 10, okay? Your n is equal to 10, okay? Let's say your n is equal to 10. Let's say your n is equal to 10 and you have paired 2 comma 5, right? If you do this, so after this what will happen? Let's say you keep on doing B plus equal to A, right? You keep on doing this, so this will not help you, right? This will never help you, because this will be 2 comma 9, and after that this will be your first move, this is your second move, and in the third move you will get let's say 2 comma 11, right? And then you will be able to exceed it, right? But there is another way that we can do this, right? How? If you have 2 comma 5, so I am saying that increase the smaller number, right? Increase the smaller number, increase the smaller number to minimize the moves. How can we do this? So let's say you have 2 comma 5, so what you do, you add this 5 to this 2, okay? So now this will be 7 and this will be 5, right? Now can you see, Now in the second move, what you can do, in the second move you increase this number, okay, you increase this, so this will be 7 and this will be 12. Now you can see that this number is greater than this, right, in two moves, in two moves. So the minimum moves that you took for this case is 2, right? Everyone agrees on this, everyone agrees on this, just quickly tell me, everyone agrees with this case, everyone agrees with this? Okay, perfect, perfect. Now let's take another case, let's take another case. Let's say I take another case, let's take 3 and 5, okay, let's take 3 and 5, and let's say I have to reach n is equal to 13, okay, let's say I have to reach n is equal to 13. Now if I do this, if I keep on increasing the smaller number, if I keep on increasing the bigger number, so in that case, in the first move, what will happen, this will be 3 comma 8, then this will be 3 comma, I think this will be 3 comma 11, right? And in the second move, in the third move, this will become what, this will become 3 comma 14, right? But now let's look, if we increase the smaller number, what will happen, you add this 5 to this 3, this will be 8 comma 5, right, in the first move. And in the second move, what will it be equal to, you add this number to this, so 8, and this will be what, 13, right? So let's say this was 12, okay, let's say if this was 12, okay, not 13, if this was 12, so you can reach this, right, your 13 is greater than 12, right? So in this if you are increasing your smaller number, then only your additions, you will be taking lesser additions when your smaller number is clear. It is clear because if we increase the smaller number, then we have a bigger number to add, yeah, right. And after addition, the number will increase gradually, yeah, right, this is what I was trying to say. Okay, perfect, perfect. Let's try to move ahead. Shall we move ahead with the problem? Shall we move ahead with the problem? Shall we move ahead with the problem? Shall we move ahead? Shall I write the code for this problem? Shall I write the code for this problem? Okay, let's write the code for this. A and B that I'll be given, right? And I'll also be taking long n, and let's say I also take moves which is initialized to 0. After that, what I'll be doing is I'll be taking A, B and N as an input. Once I do that, so after that, what I'll do, if my A is greater than B, then I will swap A comma B, right? I will swap these because I want A to be the smaller number, right? And otherwise what I will do, right, so what will I do next, I'll write a while loop, right? I'll like write, let's write a while loop, because we don't know up till where will, while let's say true, okay, while let's say I run true, that is I do not know that at what condition I'll be terminating, so that is why I'm writing this. After this, since A is the smaller number, so I'll write A plus equal to B, so adding the smaller number, adding the bigger number to the smaller one, okay, because at next time we'll have a bigger number to add, right? This is what will happen with this. Now what will happen, I don't know why this is happening. A plus equal to B, right? This is what I will do, and I will check that if my A is greater than N, or my B is greater than N, right? I will check, let's check for both, right? Then in that case I will simply break out, otherwise what I will do, otherwise I will take otherwise what will I do, otherwise if A is greater than B, okay, then I will swap A comma B, that is I'll keep A as the smaller number, and I'll add A plus equal to B, right? I'll add the smaller number with the bigger number, right? I'll add the bigger number to the smaller number to increase its value. And since I'm doing that, so I'll count moves plus plus, right? I'll count moves plus plus, and in the end I simply need to print the number of moves, right? Simply need to print the number of moves, right? I simply need to do that, right? Everyone agrees on this? Everyone is clear with this part? Everyone is clear with this part? Let me just run this on some test cases. um, Let me see if let's try and run this on the sample test cases that have been given to us. Okay, 1 and 3, right? You can see the answer is 1, not this. The answer is not this. Okay, I'm making some mistake in my code. Let's see where I'm making the mistake. I am making some mistake. If A is greater than B, then I will swap, right? Then I'll swap and I'll add the smaller number to the bigger one, okay? Yeah, it might happen that I might just need I might be missing some condition. Okay, so what will happen, let's not write it this way. Let me change the way that I'm writing. Let's take number of moves as 1, because if I have swapped these, if a is greater than b, then what should I do? A plus equal to b. I should be doing a plus equal to b. Okay, so that when I come to this, I'll not do this. Okay, and let's see if this runs or not. Let me just see if this runs or not, and then yeah, right. So this is what I was making a mistake. Basically, after getting a and b as an input, you need to check that if a is greater than b, then I need to swap and I need to add a plus equal to b, right? I need to upgrade my smaller number, and after that, what I'll do, before that, I will count my moves as 1, because I have already done this, right? Because initially it is given to me, and if my a is greater than n or my b is greater than n, when I come into the while loop, so I'll break. If that are not the case, that is not the case, so if a is greater than b, then I'll swap a and b. Otherwise I'll add the smaller number to the bigger number, and after that I'll count the moves, and in the end I'll simply print the number of moves, right? In the end I'll simply print the number of moves. Let's quickly try and submit this problem. Okay, okay, let's see whether it works or not. Let's just see whether it works or not. Okay, let me just see. Now code is correct. We are adding 2 times a plus equal to b in single while loop. No, we are not doing that. We are not doing that. Right. Is this code clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Right. Is this much part clear to everyone? Let me show you again. You simply count the number of moves as 1, because initially if your a is greater than b, then you swap and you add the with do the smaller number, you add b, and after that, if my a is greater than n or my b is greater than n, I simply break. If that is not the if again if that is not if even I do not exceed a or my a or b doesn't exceed n, so in that case I'll be swapping. Otherwise what I'll be doing, otherwise I'll simply add the small number to the bigger, and I'll do a moves plus source, right? I hope that this code is also clear to everyone, right? I hope that this code is also clear to everyone. Now let me discuss one more thing. Okay, let's discuss one more thing. Okay, so we took two problems. Okay, we took two problems, and both were we took two greedy problems today. Okay, we took we took clear and greedy session is very much helpful to learn new techniques and how to think. So the next class will be, what will be the topic? Okay, that is what I want to tell. So today we discussed two greedy problems. Okay, after this what will happen? Like today we discussed two greedy problems. Now for now we'll not be doing greedy sessions further. Why? Because we shall be covering more topics in depth. Okay, so now we'll be covering game theory. Okay, game theory, or you can say games or game theory, on game theory tag on CodeForces, game or game theory tag on CodeForces. And what we'll be doing is, we'll be covering this from you can say Friday. Okay, we'll be covering this from Friday. So Friday 5 p.m. Okay, Friday 5 p.m. Friday 5 p.m. we'll be covering these. Okay, so we'll not be having any class. No live problem solving session. No live problem solving on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, so we'll meet on Friday. Okay, we'll meet on Friday. Friday, what is the date? 23, 24, 25, 26th. Okay, we'll meet on 26th. Okay, clear? Clear? Yeah, right. We'll meet on Friday with game theory or game tag. Okay, game theory or game tag, the problems that are game based, or that want you to think optimally. With basically they say that you both the players are playing optimally, and then what will be the answer, or questions which are very much game oriented. Okay, yeah, the tag that are having game or game theory, you can say. Okay, on CodeForces we'll be solving that, and if we require some theorem or some theories, so we'll also be looking onto that. I think that we might encounter some mixed problems or things like these, so I'll be covering all these. So we'll be not be having any class. No, we'll be having no class tomorrow. We'll be having no class tomorrow. Okay, we'll be having no class tomorrow, that is on 24th. On 24th we do not have a class, live session for this. And on, yeah, you need to practice more. Okay, On 24th we'll not be having a class. On 25th also we'll not be having a class. We'll be having live problem solving game theory from 26th. Okay, we'll be having live problem solving game theory from 26th. Do we have a Discord server for discussion? Currently, we do not have. Once we have more people who have joined this movement or this community, in this community, once we have more people with the code era community, then we'll be doing this. Okay. So in the end, so we'll meet on Friday 5 p.m. So I think that much part is clear to everyone. Friday 5 p.m. Now we'll be meeting on Friday 5 p.m. I just want to say that this is the channel for us, for you, Code Era. So you can like the video if you haven't, and if you are watching the recording, you can share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed, so you can subscribe, or you can recommend your friends to subscribe. Today we'll be bringing the global round solutions as well. After that, another thing that I want to say is that make sure to solve problems. Okay, make sure to practice at least 4 to 5 problems a day, okay, on code forces or data structures and algorithms. We currently do not have a Discord server, so that is it for today. Okay, that is it for today, and let's meet on Friday for this problem solving session. Let's meet on Friday. Okay, thanks a lot everyone for tuning in, and we'll meet soon.